have an announcement that you would like to get out to the faith community, you can email us at advertise@inspiredoverflow.com. Now, I want to go back to our guests who are here with us. We're talking about being able to minister through comedy. And DeAndre, before we went to break, our other guest, Reggie Reg, he talked about that, God has called him to be able to minister. That's really more than just about comedy. And I want to talk about your business, Humor for Hire. And let us know what's different about Humor for Hire. When people book you, what does that mean? What do they get?
Okay, well, and that's the difference. I think as he talked about ministering through comedy and being a comedian, right now for me is more than just being a comedian. Humor for Hire is a business that's set to bring you quality entertainment, but the vision behind it is to be a platform for others to succeed, a platform to help other good causes and just support other local businesses. So Humor for Hire right now, being the groundwork, we're trying to bring a comedy show every first Saturday of the month, and it's going to be at KDHX right off Grand in Washington in Midtown St. Louis. Each month behind the comedy show should always be a purpose. This one coming September 6th, we're raising funds for autism. We are sponsoring Team CK and Friends. CK Sullivan was diagnosed at 2 years old with autism. I believe he's about 7 now. And him along with 1 in 68 other children are born with autism today. So we just want to try to bring some awareness to that, raise some funds, and just help out with the Autism Now, the Autism Speaks Walk in October.
Amen, amen. So that show is taking place on Saturday, September the 6th.
September the 6th, that's correct,
Okay.
at 7 p.m.
And how can individuals get tickets to attend your show?
You can go to www.deandrewhitner.com, or you can contact us at humorforhire@gmail.com, or just call 314-329-1503.
Sure. And I know that you've done your clean comedy shows at different churches, fundraisers.
Definitely.
So I know that different churches bring you in to perform.
Like I said, that's one of the purposes. I try to do my own with my own comedy show, The Family Funny, but we've been affiliated with Prince of Peace, where we produce the Jesus Goes to College. We help out Moving Forward Ministries, which is one of our sponsors for this show, to raise awareness for them and also build up the recruitment for their walk. I mean, we do all types of things. Anybody that's looking to bring humor to their event, Humor for Hire is where you want to go.
Amen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I'm just excited that God is just tapping into different gifts. God is a creative God. And, one of our featured guests who's been a guest on Inspired Overflow, she's my spiritual mother, Apostle Barbara McLean. She always talks about that God is a God of different flavors and different seasonings. And like he is using you and Reggie Reg through comedy, he's tapping into different people to minister. There are some folks that are not going to go to church. There are some folks they're just not going to step into a church. But when they encounter you, or when they encounter you, Reggie Reg, they are able to be ministered to. And Reggie Reg, you're known as the Bishop of Comedy. A lot of people see you acting a fool, but people don't know that you're also an ordained and licensed minister. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I finally went and stopped fighting, and so. Yeah, but I am, like I said, the incarceration period really changed my life, and it made you really appreciate the small things in life. And I knew that I was a child of God, and I just had to really, that's what it took for me. And, I didn't find religion in prison and everything. I found Jesus in prison. And so, he's really touched my soul. I'm real with it, and the beauty now is that I get to go back into the prisons and let them know that, hey, it just wasn't because they have been known to find God in there, and soon you come out, you leave God at RD when you process out. But I took him with me. And so, this is serious. It's no plan. Again, not perfect, but, no plan. And so I am licensed from my pastor, Robert Burton, at New Northside Missionary Baptist Church. And I've been a minister under, actually, Bishop Ellis was the one who actually called me. Well, God called me, but Bishop Ellis saw my calling, and I was under here. I was his armor bearer before he went on to glory. And then Pastor Rod Burton just took over from where Bishop Ellis had left off. And finally he's seen that, he hear my testimonies. He hear how others talk about me. He hears, he sees what's going on. He knows where my heart is as far
Sure.
as Jesus is concerned. So yeah, I preach and I can preach. Oh yes, and real brief, they brought me down. I had to preach like I had to do comedy Saturday, and then I preached Sunday. And so, I mean, it was like this guy came up to me afterwards. He was like, after you did the comedy show, so I was like, how can we take him serious? But when you brought that word Sunday, OMG, it was just like a totally different person, in which I still use humor in my sermons. But my sermons, are just so powerful, thank God. And that in that one particular, that was in Hannibal actually, and 15 people came and gave their life to Christ after I finished. And I give God the glory, not Reggie Reg. God get the glory because I decreased and He increased inside of me. He told me what to say, and I said it, and it turned some lives around.
Amen. Amen. And one of the things about just listening to your testimony, Reggie Reg, and even to you, DeAndre, is that God just wants us to be willing vessels. He wants us to be obedient. And when we're able to, and willing to make that step of faith, in your instance, moving from secular comedy to just clean comedy ministry, He's able to open up doors. And I just see that even with Humor for Hire, even with you, what the Lord is doing with you, Reggie Reg. Tell us a little bit about The Saints Can Laugh Too, and even the sitcom that you're working on.
Right. Saints Can Laugh Too is just something that was just brought up, because we can laugh. And, and it's catchy. You have to, be, real catchy when you want to get people's attention. And, so I want, not only the saints to know this, but secular people who are not of God know, hey, we can laugh too. And so, it brings up a conversation like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that, but it also puts into those who don't think you can't laugh about something, it puts that in their spirit like, hey, we can laugh too. And laughter is a medicine. The sitcom that I've been working on the last couple of years, just off and on. It's called Say Amen Again, and it's about a preacher who was thrown into a situation with the new church, and his wife don't want to be the first lady, and so it's comical, but yet it's real life stuff that goes on. The show glorifies Jesus. And we just have fun, because right now there are some horrible television shows that are out, all these reality shows and things like that. And I can remember a long time ago when Amen used to come on. And this actually has nothing to do with it, but it's still, in that kind of, because there are stories that goes on. I know they got the preachers at L.A. and yeah. But as far, I just wanted to bring some quality entertainment to the show.
Amen.
And so what I'm doing now is really building up my fan base, which is growing hundreds by day. And that's what I'm in. And then I'm also doing the gospel stage play, It Must Be Love, because hate don't hurt this bad. We've been touring the country with that. This is our third year running, so we took a break.
Amen.
And we're going to kick that back up. I'm going to do a casting call because we need some travelers.
Sure.
We need some travelers, those who can, not really a working class, because they want us out in L.A., they want us out in Florida, they want us up in North Carolina. So I'll be, I'll probably come back on and we'll talk about that. But I want, this is an opportunity for saints of God, not, because, we want, we have integrity. And so I'm just excited about that as well.
Amen.
So,
Amen, Reggie Reg. God is doing so much in your life. He is doing
Thank
so
you.
much in your life. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
And that's the thing about God is that when we are obedient to him, doors just open, sitcoms, stage plays, gospel plays and all that kind of stuff. But DeAndre, before we close, because we're going to go into our next segment of the show, you are offering 2 tickets.
Yes, 2 free passes to the show this September 6th.
Amen.
If I can, I just want to let people know, a lot of people always ask and they get it misconstrued. It is an actual comedy show. It's not an open mic. It's clean, no explicit language or content, and we're bringing national and local acts. So you get 3 to 5 acts from 7, maybe an hour and a half. You'll be out there by 8:30. Get home early enough or go ahead to your next event. But it is a well-organized show, and you're guaranteed to have a good time.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I've seen you perform. I've been to one of your shows before, DeAndre. I've seen Reggie Reg perform. Both of you all are very funny. But so Inspired Overflow listeners, if you want these 2 tickets, we're going to give them away for you for free. The value for 2 tickets normally is you can get 2 for $25.
Right.
Amen. So, but if you want your free tickets, we're going to open up our phone lines now. Hernandez, let me know what is the phone line? Should they call the 618 number? Okay. So Reggie Reg, okay. So if you want the 2 free tickets, give us a call at area code 618-874-5785. Okay. So our phone lines are open right now. The number is 618-874-5785. Okay. And if you are calling from the St. Louis area, that number is 314-969-6900. So if you want 2 free tickets to the Humor for Hire, the hilarious clean comedy series, the tickets are for Saturday, September the 6th. Amen. It's taking place at the Stage, which is located at 3524 Washington. It's just a couple of doors down from the Fox Theater. I want to thank our guest, DeAndre Whitner with Humor for Hire, and also Reggie Reg, for the Bishop of Comedy, for joining us here on the Inspired Overflow radio show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear more about this Fair Housing Conference that is taking place in St. Louis. And I'm telling you, fair housing is no laughing matter. It's so, so, so important. We're going to be joined by the Executive Director, Charles Bryson, of the Civil Rights Enforcement Agency. So don't go away too far, because we'll be right back.